Hello, everyone. Nice to see you.
Hello, everyone. Even the ones that are hiding in the closet. Hello.
Well, I think I signed in and you signed in. We may be the only people in here for a while.
I signed in. Yeah.
Oops.
You signed in. We may be the only. Whoops, there's an echo.
Yeah, I had to turn off my
Okay.
thing.
YouTube.
I thought that today we could go over some of the things that empaths have to deal with, and like shielding. You know, if we don't kind of shield ourselves, even going out into like the grocery store can be very traumatic. And as well as, I know that I use my empathic abilities all the time, and it makes me nervous whenever someone is just writing to me, because I cannot see them, I cannot hear them, and if it's a one-way conversation, the energy doesn't bounce between us. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't bounce. And so that's the reason why I'm so big, or well, we're all so big on what's your question, what do you have to say about that, give me some feedback. Well, what that really is bouncing the energy back and forth so that we can lock onto it and get a little bit. But we become so dependent upon seeing or hearing, hearing their voice, and or seeing them and hearing their voice and their expressions and it's just an energy that they give off. And it's because of that dependence that I had a real struggle with doing the YouTube thing. And we can connect to anything, to anywhere in time or space, just because of the fact that we know that connection is there. We can do it. We can hone in on it and everything. But it's because of that dependence on an energy exchange that we really get crippled a lot of times. So it's not just on YouTube. I'm talking about, when someone sends you a text just out of the blue, and you're looking at it and you're like, well, this could be either they're happy for me or they're mad at me. What's the deal? And you have to it's almost like you're doing a YouTube reading, trying to discern what that is. And you text them back, and then they text you back, and you have that energy exchange. And they may not have totally explained their first initial text
Intentions.
but still, you because of that exchange, you feel okay, they're not upset with me, they're just blah blah blah. And it can be, if you let it can be crippling, because you get so into being able, since you can read all the people around you and deal with it, you get so stuck in that mindset that dealing with written communication is almost a panic. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever felt that way?
Uh, Not really, but what I use a lot of discernment because of my experience. Maybe because
Mm-hmm.
of my age, but I had a lot of experience. But when I was younger, I was getting the whole thing come at me, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know what the hell was happening. And the
Right.
problem with that is that depends how you were raised, depends how I was abused. So being abused, I had little self confidence, and I
Mm-hmm.
had little trust in everybody. So when things happen, I would take the whole thing on my shoulders and blame myself. Oh, I must be wrong at it. I did something. Oh, I must be me. It must be me. It's always like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went into adult. Then I had girlfriends. Then when things happened, I took the blame,
Right.
and it wasn't me. See what I mean? I woke up after that and I
Mm-hmm.
said, "There's something." Then I got well. I had a lot of help. I had to go through psychology. I had to do group meetings. I had to do
Mm-hmm.
to get out of this mindset that
Mm-hmm.
you know. Uh, there's one that told me said, "Are you going to let people eat the wool off your back every time?" That
Mm-hmm.
shocked the hell out of me. And I said, "What do you mean?" Well, you let people use you. You let people get over you. You let things like that. And then I understood there's a difference between feeling something. It's your energy and somebody else's energy. But had
Right.
to, to know that, I had to learn all about me and my energy. You get what I mean? I had to know my energy. I had to know myself before. Now that I know what my energy is like and what somebody else's comes from somebody else, now I know. See
Right.
what I mean?
Well,
It took time
it
to do
took
that though.
me. Yeah, but I mean, it was really actually coming on YouTube
Yeah.
to where that I realized I did this. You know
Mhm.
what I'm trying to say? It's like people would ask me a question, and I almost the ones the people that I see all the time and we interact. I'm not at all.
Mhm.
Um, I don't feel at all like
Overwhelmed.
I can't lock. Yeah, I can't lock in with them
Yeah.
because I recognize their energy.
Yeah.
And but a new person, it's almost like I have to say, okay, well, tell me about your question. Okay, well, and it's I mean, you always need to clarify your question because
Yeah.
that's it. But it's like it's more than clarification. It's a real need, and I just found that interesting. What about the shielding? Have you like there's shielding just to like go to the grocery store, and then there's shielding for psychic attack. Have you ever experienced psychic attack, or do you shield regularly
Well,
to go to the like go out in public?
not really in well, how I go. I go to a restaurant or I go. I'm the type of person that how would I say? I'll sit at the table and I'll look. I'm a very visual person. I can cap things without speaking to the person. I can actually know if somebody's happy or not. Yeah, I can
Mm-hmm.
tell. I don't know how I do it, but I do it. I can tell because I have a radar. But
Mm-hmm.
when I do that, it sort of protects me from receiving that. If I don't want that energy, I
Mm-hmm.
just no. Okay, this is where I'm at. I'm gonna do my meal or eat my thing and spend my time with my wife or whatever it is. Or I'll
Right.
be there, and the hell with everybody else, But I can. It just goes like this, like in seconds or minutes or whatever. I can feel
Mhm.
things around me. I know. I just have to look at somebody's face, and I know it. Or not,
Yeah.
maybe even from behind, I can tell the way a person walks, or the way uh, your body expresses itself. You can
Mhm.
tell. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
But
Well,
but but to protect myself, a psychic attack. Uh, I'll tell you something. The only psychic attack I'm aware of is coming from other empaths. Sorry to
mhm.
say,
Mhm.
because some people like to compete, even if
Yeah.
I'm better than you. I read cards more than you. They're not saying that, but I can feel
Mhm.
it from them. You see, I can feel the
Yeah.
ego that's in it and the pride that I got better gifts than you and this and that. I don't like that. I really
I mean,
it smells like poop, and it is, to me it is. And these people, what happened to them, I feel sorry for them. I mean, really, because I said someday, you might wake up and you might think you got all the gifts and you don't,
right.
because your ego
Right.
is too big, and it's trying to control things or control other empaths, control them.
Mhm.
Uh-uh, doesn't work with me. It just doesn't.
Right.
So
Well, I mean,
I noticed that though.
yeah, it's with shielding, I just have a bubble of light around me and I use that all the time to go
Yeah,
to the grocery store and everything. Hello, Celia. Hello, JR. Hello, Rochelle. Hello, Stephanie D. I
yeah.
am so
Hello to
glad
everybody.
to have seen that you're here. Um,
Lisa Smith is here
but
too. Hello.
I um
It doesn't
I
catch for me.
use
Hello.
Hi Lisa. Um and doesn't cats
I don't know
um
how many people feel the way I feel, but I'm so sensitive. I pick up energy like crazy. I
yeah,
really, but maybe sometimes I don't show it. I can do that too. Without,
right,
I can show it,
right.
but I mean I can't say everything I feel of somebody. You see what I mean? I can't tell because I have to respect their space and
Right.
the way they evolve. Whatever, I don't know if you can say it that way. They need time to be aware of something, of things. They need their time, their space. So I won't say nothing.
Yeah. Well, and I've only had one episode of psychic attack, and
Yeah,
it um it was like I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know uh it's like it was in the moment
yeah,
that I made the decisions and everything, and I just turned my shields. They were just mirrors.
yeah,
I just did
yeah.
that instantly, and it just repelled off of it, and I felt so much better after that. So
Hmm.
it's it was a it was an experience that, I mean, I'm 53 years old and I've had that happen to me one time, and it I was really I was really amazed that it even happened. That, I mean, I'm not a so anybody that's really controversial. I'm just not.
Okay. Yeah.
And it really really was quite an experience. Um, Another thing I wanted to touch on um, was the empath's journey through the void, and or that desert place that everybody goes through, that is decreased. communication with spirit, having to use more energy to get messages, feeling disconnected. Um, you know, every empath goes through that and goes through stages of that.
Mhm.
And then, usually it's just before your gifts evolve more, or you're coming into a new gift or something like that. And, but you feel so disconnected because, you know, we are used to feeling, um, feeling things, knowing things, seeing things, hearing things, everything is, it gets to be almost like another sense. And to have that decreased, it really, um, first of all, it like it scares you. It's just like if you suddenly couldn't smell, or you suddenly couldn't taste or hear or see, you know, with the normal senses. And so it's very scary. But gratitude, grounding, unplugging, um, physical rest and relaxation, so that you can heal. You can evolve. You have enough energy stored within you to make that next step, really helps with that. And, um, some people it decreases down to zero. Some people, you just have to use more energy to get those answers that you want. So I'm very glad that with me it's never decreased down to zero because I think I
No.
would lose my mind.
Jesus.
But it's just, when you're having to use a lot more energy, and you're like thinking, what on earth is happening?
Yeah.
Hi, Renee Rogers.
Hello, Renee.
Oh, a dozen cats for me. I have often thought about the wonderful readers in our community and how exhausting it must be in these crazy times. Yeah, it's like you're I think that the problem is you're dealing with all the
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
And your gifts are trying to evolve, and they're dealing, you can't, you just can't have both. And so for a little while you have to be unplugged, and you
Detach.
know
Yeah.
to you have to be unplugged to the world in order to let those gifts do their thing, and then you can come and plug back in. um
Well, anything that's outside of me, I try to unplug myself of the
right.
events that's going on because I can't control this friggin' stuff. I
Hmm.
don't have anything to do with that stuff because it's going on whether whether you get involved or not. So why should I put the pressure on my brain to worry, stress, and all this stuff? So you
Hmm.
just oops. So I'm going to do my thing, and we'll see how it goes. But you have to trust for that. You have to trust in the unknown, what's going on. So that's why.
Hmm.
That's what I do anyway. I don't get into politics too much because I don't like the energy of politics. It's
Yeah, a lot of people don't. The thing for me
crap.
though is I oops, love you both.
Thank you.
um I think that having equal rights or human rights
Yeah.
issues have to be addressed because
Yeah.
they affect everyone.
Yeah.
I think that I would not have 5 years ago, I would never have touched any kind of politics, you know. But I'm thinking that since it affects everyone living in your nation, what and who is directing it, that we need to have some balance. We need to have some
Uh,
um, ideas about what they're actually doing. And so I have a hard time between wanting to stay away from the energy because it's yuck, and what I need to do. I just don't know. I
I
don't
have an
know.
idea I have an idea, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to how is maybe it was on my channel. Maybe not on Saturday. I don't know. One of these days, I want to give. I want to re-invite Milu on my channel again,
Hmm.
and not talking about doing readings or politics, but something to do with racism. I want to hear his story, his side of the story,
Right.
because
Right.
this thing affects every human being in the world.
Hmm.
Okay, and
Yeah.
and and I know probably if I talk to Jay about it, because I want to give him a voice. I want to know the story of how these people these human beings faced racism. Now
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm white, so I didn't face that, but I've seen it. I've seen it happen
Yeah.
to all over the place, and I have a lot of friends that are are colored people in my channel. I have a lot of them, and I love them dearly. And these like the Soul Sisters, like Jay, and I have Lisa Smith and things like that. They're all beautiful, amazing souls, every one of them, and others that I don't know. That
Yeah.
I know, and it's not just colored people, it's every immigrant. If you're not, you don't think
Well,
like
and
me. If
it's
you don't think
also
like me, you don't
in
act like me, you're my enemy. This is wrong. It starts with
right.
education. I believe it starts with
It's also
education.
the
Yeah,
indigenous people.
yeah,
You know,
that's what
the
I'm talking
Native
about.
Americans,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
indigenous people. They are horribly treated, and
but
they have been horribly treated since the inception of America.
I saw something on what is it? Intuitive Kin. He brought together prayers or forgiveness to forgive what they done to these people, immigrants. But I'm with Jay when he talked about that on his channel, and he said that these people need a voice, and that's where I would like no, it would be my channel, but give them the voice and tell me what you went through when you were growing up and what it's like, and so that
Right.
we can get together and find solutions to eliminate this toxic. Um,
Yeah, I don't understand it. I just
yeah,
don't. I don't.
because
You know, to me, we are souls having a human experience.
yes,
It's
yes,
not the other way around.
that's right.
So I cannot imagine, I don't have a leg. I was born without it. Does
Yeah,
that make me a
yeah,
lesser individual?
yeah, that's
I
right.
mean,
That's what.
you, I don't understand why this body, whether it's white, black, whatever, I don't understand people that feel that just because they're one thing or another,
Because when you cross
that
over, when you go into unconditional love, like my channel's unconditional love, when you cross over and you go into that, there's no body, no physical body. There's only soul, spirit, and light. We're all light beings.
Mhm.
Whatever color you are, or whether you're an immigrant, or whether you're all beautiful on the other side.
Mhm.
You're all accepted, 100% accepted. So, yeah, I mean, there's something we can do together and shine our light and make people understand, or maybe start with education, you know. But the young people, they do know about this because they're
Mhm.
communicating all over the world. Whether you're Chinese, whether you're whatever nationality you are, they are
Right.
already there. Why is this thing still there? That
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's the way, you know, I with with my mom and dad and everything and grandma and grandpa, I sat there and said, "You can't say the N word,
no,
Granny.
no.
That's you can't do it anymore." I know that and the thing about it was my grandmother was not racist. She would stop and help anybody.
Mhm.
But her her generation, was just what you call black people. She you see what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, but you
her thought
heard it.
process. And
Yeah,
so I said, "No, Granny, you can't do that. These are not not good words. This is an insult." And she was like, "Oh, it's an insult." And I was like, "Yeah." you know, and it's it's it was so odd to me that I had to explain it and everything, and had to pull her into the future with me. But when you look at our children, they have concepts, and they're pulling us into the future with them.
mhm.
And I mean, my kids, I've always been very I've never been racist and everything, but their concepts about um, different social inequities are so much broader than. I mean, if I have a conversation with my peers that are my age, and we're having a roundtable conversation, not in this community, just in my neighborhood, it will be completely different than the same conversation with my 25-year-old daughter's peers, because their outlook on everything is so different.
Yes, it is.
And I find that fascinating.
Hmm. But I think it's important to give people a voice so they can talk about their experiences. Imagine, you know, I was abused when I was a young guy, a young person. Okay, I was abused and I went through a lot. But it's nothing. I mean, going through all that plus you get racism. You see what I mean? Life is
Mhm.
already, you got a lot of stuff in life already to face.
Hi,
Plus, if
hi, Sherry H.
plus facing up to racism, it's incredible what
Hmm.
these courageous people went through. It takes courage. I mean, I just want to give them a voice if they're willing to share their stories. I I'm up to it. So that for the information for people to know that we don't accept this stuff anymore. Just don't
Right,
accept it
right. Well,
anyway.
um,
Guys, it bothers
whew,
me. It bothers my heart. Just
yeah,
just
me
talking
too.
about it. It just you know. So,
Um, I just wanted, well, I have 9 people in here. I just wanted to mention that my yesterday um, both of, or two of my granddaughters. I have four granddaughters and one grandson. They're all in the same family. Two of my granddaughters uh, tested positive for COVID. It's uh, Piper, who has kidney problems, and her kidneys function normally at like 80%. And Misha, she has asthma, and they're at home, and they're just supposed to be watched and everything. But Piper had just turned 12, and she received one shot, and Misha will be 11 the 15th of this month, so she couldn't get it. Her sisters are a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. So the 15-year-old grandson, he's fully vaccinated. So that's everybody. Just pray that they will be returned to health.
Yeah.
Please. Let's see. I just haven't had enough time to get to get wrapped around that. Now, how about, does anybody have any questions about things that, I mean, a lot of our community is empathic. Yeah. And so that's the reason why I wanted to go there. That's the reason why I wanted to go with this subject, because it would affect many people. And I was just wondering if anybody had. Thank you, JR. If anybody had any questions about some of the challenges that an empath has to go through. I mean, we're number one. We're all in. I mean, we're, for the most part, a lot of introverts. So I have to kind of challenge myself to, put myself out there, because I know that, I prefer to stay in my own little fortress. So I have, I am a Cancer Sun, Libra Ascendant, and Aries Moon. So I want everything to be fair and balanced, but it's kind of like, if you come at me, I have a thick shell, and my claws are on fire. So
on fire.
On fire.
Yeah. Me, I'm an Aquarius, and my ascendant is a Scorpion. And I had personal how would you say, conflicts before I joined the two of them together. You know why? There's Scorpio in me, and then there's Aquarius, and I had a personality conflict. Boy, oh boy, took a long time to settle them down. Because the Scorpio, Scorpion is very he can be patient, but when he comes at you, the darts, boy, these sting. And I've done it before. I don't want to do that anymore. Like coming up to somebody's face and telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. You shock the
It's
crap
hard.
right out of them. They,
Yeah.
it really, boom. I don't do that. I did it before. I don't do that anymore because it's too, it's too dramatic,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, there's people that they'll keep at you, keep poking at you and poking until you get, I can't take it anymore. Bang, 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 and all of a sudden, oh, Jesus, you come out of your,
Um,
you come out of your closet like that, So I don't do that anymore.
JR says, JR says for me, I don't like disappointing people and I don't like being mean. That is um that is something that I have had to deal with all my life. I had to, my husband calls it CSN syndrome, can't say no, because I mean, at work, whenever they would call and say, we really need you, and as a nurse, I always felt like I had to
Yeah,
be there.
yeah,
And I don't like disappointing people and I don't like being mean. I can't even, I have a hard time reading those those you know uh well, like the rebel cards, the spiritual as fuck, it just, and I have a hard time saying those words because I'm not mad at you. I love you. How can I cuss at you? And so
yeah.
I can't, I have a real hard time doing that. And um I, it's like those words are reserved for if somebody makes me really mad. I cannot do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know it's weird, but I think it's odd that I have such reticence about. I have to force those words out of my mouth. It's just funny. It's a funny.
It's a funny one. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say no to some people because, like I do my show, my lives on Saturday, and we have so many
Uh,
questions. I would like to read for everybody, but I can't.
right.
I mean, there's a
Yeah.
certain number we can do, and then when you get to
Hmm.
that number, your energy goes whoops.
Yeah.
So
You're
I mean,
just.
after that, I can't anymore. So
I mean, you're just done.
yeah, but I noticed some people go to every channel and repeat the same question to everybody, the
Yeah.
same thing. And I said,
Yeah.
I mean, that's their thing, but I wouldn't. I mean, if you go see everybody, it's like telling everybody, well, you know, I got an answer. I didn't like the answer there. I'm going to go to another one. I'm going to same question. You get the same answer that the other one gave, and it keeps on the
Yeah.
same thing. This is, well, I mean, depends on the trust, I guess. It depends on the value you give
Right.
to somebody. So
Um. Let's see.
I know Rainy.
Oh, and I was.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. Tell me about Renee Rogers.
Well, Renee Rogers asked the question yesterday to Jen's World. She wanted to know if me and her and Sophie. Now, Sophie's not here today. Wanted to know if you were cousins in the um, Acadian, which is Nouveau Brunswick. New
Ah.
Brunswick. Wanted to know if we were cousins, Acadian cousins. No, I don't know if she's still here, but
Well, but Rhonda, a lot of times it's the person seeking confirmation,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's not that they're trying to say they don't trust the one. It's just that they're so desperate for an answer, they're seeking
yeah,
confirmation.
yeah. Or they
And
want maybe they think of something and he didn't say it. So I guess. Oh, hi, Andrea.
hi,
Uh,
Andrea.
So I don't know. Maybe they're thinking, oh, I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for them to say this question, and it's not. They're not saying it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the a lot of times it's because they're so desperate for answers or wanting
Yeah,
to take what you have and what
yeah,
somebody else
yeah.
has and what somebody else has and combine it together to get to get a complete picture. You know,
Uh,
that well that's just like us, all three of us reading on one question. A lot of times your perspective and Sophie's perspective and my
yeah,
perspective are all it's all along the same lines, but it comes at it from different directions.
different angles. Yeah, and besides
Yeah.
that, there's nobody 100%. Don't
Mhm.
search for a reader that's going to give you 100%. It doesn't exist. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
And what I do is, okay, you take what fits with you and leave the rest behind. So, I mean,
Yeah, but a lot of people, right? That's the thing. A lot of people uh, don't. They may have your acceptance of things after a certain amount of time
yeah,
because
takes time.
we have
Yeah.
to work we have to work through that,
Hmm.
but they don't right now while the problem is still huge and looming over them.
Hmm.
You know, they have to get to the point to where that they can knock it down to size
Yeah.
and realize that, you know, they need to move on. And
I
you
had
know,
readings before where somebody privately there. I had the readings, and I was wondering why would this person tell me this? You know what? Took maybe a couple months, 3 months later. Oh,
mhm,
she told me that. Oh yeah, okay. You see what I mean? It takes
yeah,
time. And
yeah,
oh, she was right. I didn't know what the hell she was talking about then. Now I know. So that's how it comes like that sometimes. Huh?
hello emerging soul.
Hello,
I'm so
welcome.
glad to see you. I
Yeah,
feel honored that you would come and see me. If you haven't heard of her YouTube channel, Emerging Soul Tarot, she gives beautiful
yeah.
readings,
I
and they're
I'm
so
subscribed to her too.
spiritual.
So yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Well,
And I got
let's see.
somebody coming. Somebody else is coming on my channel soon. What's her name? Terry Suzuki.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
she's awesome.
she is. Yeah. So we just have to find what time she can. So
Yeah.
anyway, we'll see.
Let's see. My mother passed 9 years ago, the day after I found out my dad was terminal. Since then,
Wow.
I've been dealing with anxiety, panic disorder, and depression. I'm a shadow of who I used to be. Hmm. Well, that is, I mean, that dealing with anxiety, panic disorder, and depression is that's so big, so heavy on your plate. But the thing is about anxiety or panic disorder and even depression. If you meditate and you control your breathing and concentrate on your breathing, the panic attacks will improve. They will not
Mhm.
go away by doing just that, but they will improve. So, um, I mean, that's not me, the empath talking. That is the nurse talking. Um, Mastering that just the breathing. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to think on. You don't know how many times I have stood in front of people and said, in through your nose, slow and deep, out through your mouth, slowly, longer than what you took that air in. Slow and deep in, slow and deep expression out. You have to control your breathing.
Mhm.
So
And
that's
there's something about this question also. You see, I find a lot of people they're saying, my mother passed, my dad passed, and people that passed over. And there's one thing they don't. You're not. You should try to be aware. Uh, I know I've been on the other side, and I'm aware of it. When people passed on the other side, every one of them passed on the other side. I mean, they're all well, 100% themselves on the other side. They don't have the physical, uh, whatever, um, medical health or anything. They're well, and they're better off than you are. And you're the one that's suffering, and you're the one that's going through. Well, you lost your mother, you lost your dad, you lost. Everybody does that, because why do people do that? Because you feel that you are separated. Physically, you are separated, but spiritually, you're not. What I'm saying, your soul and your spirit is always connected to the love you shared between you guys, and it's always there.
mhm,
But we don't think like that. We think physically. Oh, well, I lost my mother, I lost my dad, I lost my dog, I lost this. In reality, you didn't lose anything, but you had the illusion that you lost everything. See what I mean?
right.
But
Hmm.
but it's normal that because we're human, that's normal that we do that. But
Yeah. I
but
mean, it's the thing is the the grief and everything is
yeah,
because we cannot see them anymore. We
right.
cannot talk to them
No,
anymore.
no, no.
And the amazing thing is that they are still with you. You
There,
just don't know it. And that's, I mean, we are humans, yes, but we are souls having a human experience.
that's right. That's right. Besides that, we're light beings before becoming humans. So whether you know it or not, it's not the you became human and then you become human, light beings after. It's you were
Right.
before. Okay.
Exactly.
There's
That's what I
except
can't.
yeah,
You've got to take their mindset and switch it over
yeah.
because
You're just not aware of it. You're not aware of it. If when you become aware of it, you say, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense." Yeah, you're more powerful than you think, and you know more than you think, except you're not aware of it. That's all. That makes the difference. So the higher you go on vibration, the more you become, oh, oh, then you realize something, you know.
yeah.
But on Earth, it's not easy. It's not easy being here, you know. I know what I've saw on the other side. Sometimes I would rather be on the other side than here, but um, and sometimes I don't even think about it, because I'm here because I need to be here. I need to do what I have to do. That's all.
Well, um, uh, I was going to touch on a couple other things.
Okay.
Um, One is I'm thinking about doing a um, some sort of giveaway whenever I reach, like, I'm going to go up like impossibly high, like 500. Whenever I reach 500, I, I I'm going to, I don't know if I should give a reading or send somebody a deck, or what's the consensus? are are they Uh, does everybody like decks, or would they rather have readings? What do you think? What does the chat think?
Well, I just want to go back to the dozen cats. He said, oddly, it was due to circumstances of their passing, wills, instruction, etc., not their death. Yeah, I had to deal with that too. I was the only child. I had to deal with the will and things like that, and papers and show them papers to get into the accounts. I know all this, and I mean, I was overwhelmed by that because I was the only child into it. But some people have family, and family argue about the will of somebody and the money and everything. But she says, "I'm beyond grateful. They're no longer suffering." That was intolerable to watch. Yes, you know,
Yes,
when
yes,
you
it
watch
is.
somebody suffer like they suffer, and then they pass, you know what? I mean, it's like, I mean, just to watch him suffer like that. I mean, it's hard to watch somebody suffer that you love. Really is. So
Oh, don't worry about
don't
oversharing or
apologize
and
for all.
hijacking the chat. That's
You know,
fine.
that's
That's
what these
good.
chats are.
Reading,
Share, because we're
looking
all
forward to
here.
reading,
We're all here to heal. Okay, we're all trying to heal. We're all trying to come together and heal, whether
reading,
it's you or anybody
reading.
else in the chat. So even myself, you know. So
Oh, that's horrible, Rochelle.
yeah, she said my sister stole my inheritance. Yeah, I know. I know. I had a friend that's, you know, I wasn't even his brother, and he said he considered me as his brother because his whole family took advantage,
Mhm.
and he had to fight back with a lawyer. He won, but I mean the lawyers played with it until they sucked all the money out of it. They lost more than you won. So yeah, actually. So anyway, that's another story. But you know, where can you find like-minded people except in these chats? Where can you find all this group that comes
Mhm.
together with love and sharing and helping each other? I don't have that many in my family, so you know what I mean.
Well,
Hey, besides that, when you hit 500, I waited till I was at 700, and then I gave a free reading. But I still have a ways to go. I'm trying to get to 1,000. 1,000 is,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's pretty
it's
hard.
good.
Yeah, I thought that, I would
Mm,
go ahead and put it, a free reading at 500 just because I'm so far away. I mean, I know
wow.
that, but I thought, maybe it seems like for some reason that seems to I don't know if it motivates people or what, but it seems like they, really
But,
start trying to.
okay, I'm going to tell you something. But I became aware when I was starting my channel. Like, I was alone at first, and then I got help, uh, a little bit here, a little bit there. But if you try to get to 1,000 by yourself, it won't work. I'll tell you why. You need to collaborate with people, other channels. You
Mhm.
need to collaborate with people that have, share like-minded people, share readings. That's
Right.
where you get, because everybody that I know of on my channel has subscribed to other channels or were subscribed to other channels before they came to me. So we're all sharing the same subscribers.
Right.
Okay. And it doesn't cost anything, but I'm trying to tell people, subscribe, hit the bell, and thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
And stay
Hi,
subscribed.
Mims.
Hi, Mims. And stay subscribed because YouTube plays games. Check out if you're still subscribed to the channel, because I
Right.
got people kicked out on my channel, and I'm not the one that's doing it. And they came back and they said, I was unsubscribed, and I had to resubscribe 3 times. So you see what I mean?
Well, um, oh, and another thing that I wanted to ask everyone, I'm thinking about the, to do the historical figure mediumship tarot, I'm thinking about doing Eleanor Roosevelt because um, she had a lot of human rights. She worked on, women being able to vote. I mean, she
Mhm.
was in that time period,
Yeah,
and um, you know, I thought about doing her and what
yeah.
her thoughts are on how far we've come, and now so things are trying to, you know, topple us and take us back 50
Oh,
years.
my little
And
bro's here. My little Herc 213 is here. Jay, he's in the
so
in chat. Oh,
I was gonna
sorry,
see
sorry.
what everybody thought about Eleanor
Mhm,
Roosevelt,
mhm.
and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that live because if I want to really do a mediumship reading, it is very, very, very difficult to have the everything going on with the chat, the thing. You're trying to hone in on what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're, everything, and it's just too hard. It would be easier to turn on the camera and just do it without any um,
Interruptions.
interruptions
Mhm.
because I'm too aware of the chat. I'm too aware of what and I know that I stare off and all that kind of stuff. And if I am sitting there with the chat going by, I'm thinking, oh God, I look like a moron because I'm sitting here staring off into space and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking I'm able to get into my own head too much when I'm doing it live. So I thought when I have just another person and I'm reading for just that one person, I don't have that because they are invested in my results. So they're okay with me, looking off and talking to myself and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
So,
So I want. I know Jay was not here at first. What I was talking about. So I don't know.
mm,
Um, I had an idea. At first, I was talking. Maybe repeat it. I was talking about creating uh, on my channel that give a voice to people of color like Herc 213. I know he talked about it on his channel, and I want to
mhm,
do live with Herc 213. Jay, if you're wanting to come up and tell your story about racism and how you went through it,
mhm,
I give a voice, to people like yourself. And I want
mhm,
to try to invite Milu on and see if he'll do it with me also. So maybe, and anybody else that would like to do this on my channel,
mhm,
because I think it's important to find solutions and come together and talk about this stuff, you know,
mhm.
and give a voice to
Yeah, I do
people
too.
that went through this. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah, I
I
do
was
too.
I was going to talk to you in private, but since you're here, I said I already mentioned it at first at the start of this channel. So at the start of this live, I
Right.
mentioned that. So I have to I have to invite Emilu yet and see if you come on, Jay, and talk about about this with me. Yeah, okay. He says, yeah, I
I'd
would
like
like to share
to.
my story. I think people need to hear about that because I have
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends, of color myself, and I mean they're really amazing souls and beautiful people to be around with. I think it's
Mhm.
important for them to talk about this so that we can what
Well, I
their
mean,
idea what their idea to find solutions. Okay, I know it starts with education when you're young, but I mean, what's the solution right now? Right now, at this moment, we need to talk about it. You can't keep it hidden all your life. You know, I mean,
right.
but you,
Well, I mean,
who do
the
you
thing
talk to?
that
Talk to people that went through it. You know, these people have experienced
right.
it, so they're the ones that need to talk about it. So I'm willing to open the door
Well,
and share
and
with
the
that.
thing that just really affected me
Yeah,
was they cannot. We just go to the store. You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
They cannot even go to, jogging through their neighborhood or
mhm,
just to a convenience store close to their house and come home with no fear.
mm,
And you know, I mean,
yeah,
the I cannot remember. Oh, my memory is horrible. But that little, well, I say little boy, that he was probably 20 or something like that, 18, something like that. But he's still a baby to me. And he was jogging through his neighborhood in Georgia, and there was a house being built, and he just went and looked around the house and then went out, and he was killed. And the murderers,
yeah,
you know, mm, mm,
yeah. Well,
okay,
I
it's
mean,
just I just
it's
don't
such the
understand.
energy. Just the effect that I watched on TV, repeat and repeat. Um,
Yeah.
George Floyd. I mean, I was bawling my head off. I cannot.
Oh, me
I
too.
mean, I was crying. I said, "Stop it!" I was yelling at the TV, "Stop it! Stop repeating the friggin' thing! I can't take it anymore." My wife was giving me Kleenex because my tears were. I mean, it was horrible. Even if I talk about it now, I I
Yeah, you feel you
how I
feel
mastered my
just
feelings. I mastered my feelings, but it's because it can get overwhelming for me. You know, I can go deep
yeah,
in
yeah,
if
me
I let
too.
it go. If I let it get to me, I'll go. I'm going to go down the drain, and I'm going to feel
But
all.
but
You
it's
know,
I think it's I mean George Floyd's death was horrible,
ah,
and nobody, no no animal should be
no,
treated like that.
no, no.
No.
That's right.
But um at the same time, it woke up so many people
Yes, it did.
to the the way that the black community is treated. So it was a horrible event, but at least it led to a good thing. You
But
you
I have,
you, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
But it
have.
was it was so horrible. I was just sick. I mean,
I
just
don't know.
literally throwing
I
up.
hope I say the word right.
Ugh.
Indigenous. I'm trying to say the word indigenous. Indigenous people.
Indigenous.
Yeah,
Hmm.
people. I have some in my family. That I got a family that's married to one, so that we're friends together and come to my place and things like that. I noticed something one time. I went to the grocery store at this time, and there was a colored lady. She had a baby like 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 a pack sack with the baby hooked up on the back like this, and the baby and the other one in her arms, and putting her, she was all alone putting her groceries there. And I said hi to her, and she was all surprised because I'm a white person saying hi to her. And and I was talking uh about her baby and things like that. So she just looked at me like surprised because I dressed her, talked to her, I mean,
Yeah.
because they were scared. they're scared to get, harassed and everything. So, I mean,
It
so
hurts me. It
and
it
if
it
if
really
you think
hurts me.
as the United States there's racism, there's some in here in Canada too. So I,
Mhm.
it's all over the world.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
I
racism
mean,
is a
we don't have
worldwide,
as many as you people in the United States to have. So
but we don't. You
so
don't have as many people either
that's
as
right.
the
That's
United
why.
States does.
Yeah, but it
um,
still exists though. It still exists.
yeah.
Maybe not as bad. Not as bad. Everything is
Well,
bad anyway.
just
Whatever, in one case
mhm.
or another. So yeah.
Just the emerging soul tarot. I cannot remember her name. I know it, but I can't remember it. But emerging soul tarot
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
her sister's father was black and we grew up in the
Yeah.
70s. The effect on her was hideous. She was constantly bullied, touched, ridiculed. I don't think we realize the profound effects. She's from the UK.
Mhm.
So it's not just America, it's not just
No.
Canada, it's everywhere.
I had my cousin that she told me that her son, okay, my cousin's son, he went out with a colored girl, because they were going to school together and things like that. So then she started talking to me about what's going on between them, racism, and I said, "What?
Mhm.
Yeah." And she said, "Guess who's 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 doing it?" I couldn't. She said her father was doing it. The colored girl was father was
Oh,
racist because he told
oh,
her that she couldn't see him anymore. So what she do? She turned around and moved in with him. Just like that. She said, "The hell with you! I'm going to do my life, and I'm moving in with him." And she did the opposite that the father was. I mean,
wow.
I thought I imagined that it was only white people, but it's not. It's on both sides.
Hmm.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Because because of everything that's going around. So I mean,
Because
geez.
of the fact that people have not recognized
Yeah,
that we are one. We are all the same.
one.
We
We're all connected.
we're souls having a human experience. I know I've said that several times, but that's, I mean, it's such a simple concept, but you can't get it across
Hmm.
that we are one.
Yeah. So
There's
so I
no
guess he
other race, just the human race.
so I guess his father was worried. Well, what's my family going to think about you going out with a white boy and things like that? But this is crazy. So she turned around. She did it anyway. She moved in with him. So, uh, uh, it takes a lot of courage to do that. It takes a lot of courage. But they love each other. What you can't tell somebody you can't move with somebody because they're of their color. Frankly, yeah.
Thank
So
you, Renee. Thank you.
there you go. She's back.
Wow.
So that's what I said about her wanting to know if me and Sophie were cousins in Acadian cousins. So she asked Jen for that, but she says I don't. Jen says I don't do past lives. So I know you do, but
Yeah, I do. I do
yeah,
past lives. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't do star seeds though. I mean, the only time I really wondered about the if I was seeing a a star seed kind of thing was we were on, and I'm trying to remember who I was reading for. Was it Cecile? I don't remember, but the thing was I said there's something different about their hands because I saw them shake hands and they their hands were shaped just a little bit differently, and I thought, wow, that has to be a long time back in evolutionary
Mhm.
history for our hands to be shaped
Yeah,
differently. But
yeah.
then I got to thinking, what if that that reading was a star seed past life? what I'm trying to say. If what if that was another, it was a past life connected to your soul, but it was a one that where you were a star seed. So I thought that was cool. Yeah, talking about the star seeds, it's so interesting. I mean, there's so much I want to learn. How do we get in touch with either of you for a personal reading? Me, right now, you can just email me at kathleenjlightworker@gmail.com and I will read for you. Um, I'm trying to get my website, but I am completely computer illiterate, so it might take me a little longer because I have always just been a word of mouth reader. Someone that I have read for, says to their cousin, their friend, their, sister in law, whatever, recommends me, and then it goes from there. And so now I'm trying to be a, you know, just contact me, I'll read for you thing. And it's it's a little different about I haven't gone out seeking clients. Clients
Mhm.
just came to me. So
Yeah.
it's kind of different about trying to find all the like the website and the all that kind of stuff.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I've done one private reading with on Zoom with somebody that won the when I hit the 700 mark.
Good
So
night, Sherry.
good night. So I did one, but I mean I haven't done any clients or start charging money for that. So I'm not there yet. So
I mean, mine it's like $1 a minute, So I mean, it doesn't. I mean, even the phone a psychic things are like
yeah.
minimum of $3.99. So I think it's pretty fair. But yeah, I'm totally lost. Me too, Mary Thornberry. I'm totally lost on the computer.
But on my channel, I have the PayPal thing. So if people want to donate, they donate. If they don't want, they don't want. It's okay. I mean, I'm not. You know, it's there. They're free to donate or not. So for now,
But
that's the way it works.
well, and I a lot of times, if someone wants to, um, if they paint or quilt or something like that, and they want to
Mhm.
change,
Yeah.
trade me my reading for something they've done. That's one thing that I'll do. And if they can't afford like what they need as far as like the $60 for an hour, they can go look at my Amazon wish list and get me two things. It doesn't matter that one of them is
Yeah.
$8.99 and one of them is
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
$15. I just get me two things. I'm not terribly. I use my money for like my medical bills, my things like that, my extra money, and
Yeah.
so I don't have a lot of extra money to be able to buy like decks and all the but what is it, whistles and bells and whistles.
Mhm. Yeah. But
I just feel
what?
so overwhelmed mentally. I feel I find it hard to get as many of the spiritual impressions that I used to get. Well, now honey, I talked earlier before you got here about the empath's journey through the void. Okay, and that means that you have a decreased communication with spirit, having to use more energy to get messages, feeling disconnected. Gratitude, grounding, and unplugging, physical rest and relaxation
Oh my
a
God.
lot of times will get you through the void. And when you get through the void, 9 times out of 10, your gifts they have evolved into a stronger gift, or you're getting a new gift. And but you have to unplug and ground yourself so that you can be in the now. You can be in the now and physically heal yourself enough to go to that next step. Because so many times it's ignoring the physical body or the mind in the mind, body, and spirit. All three need to be connected, they need to be healthy. So that may be a part of it.
I'm just reading Rochelle's question. She said, Sherry, four of our readers have told me spring, summer for settlement of my injury lawsuit. Attorney told me the other day 2 years, 2+ years.
Mm-hmm.
That is awful. I mean, yeah.
And oh, the crystals and gems are found in the void of the dark. Brene Rogers. Spirit cuts the cord of communication. It's because you're being taken deeper. Yes, yes, Karen, emerging soul tarot. Yes, that is the point. Once you
Hmm.
go deeper, and then everything opens back up, and you're like, wow. But every time you you'll feel like you're having to use more energy to get messages, feel disconnected. Some people, even everything is completely cut off, and you just have to, so you, you just have to get yourself healed. You have to heal the mind, heal the body, and let your spiritual essence grow. And then it's like, oh, yes, I do Reiki. Do you do Reiki, Ron?
I just send energy, so it's about the same thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I didn't study how to do that. I just sent energy and that's it. I'm reading Rochelle even more than 2 years, plus the city won't settle. So, huh, these people.
Goodness. Uh,
Whoops. Oh boy. She'll be back. She hit the wrong button. Oh my God. Yeah. She's coming back. There she
yeah,
is.
there I
Hello.
am. Tell you what, my
Yeah.
internet. Anyway,
Sometimes it
we
happens to me. Yeah.
we've been on here for about an hour and 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and I'm going to start putting I think I'm going to set my deal to be no longer than an hour and a half because I want to start inviting people on um, at, through the week and all that kind of stuff. And I got a little um, email from uh, StreamYard, and they were saying, you're awfully close to your limit. Or do you want to, And I thought, well, crap. So I'm going to have to limit the amount of time I spend on each one so that I can have more. It could, because I just don't have the
I
cash
think
to.
I think it's 20 hours, and I did it before until I paid for it. Now I paid for the whole year, and I got no limit left. No limit. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was bothering me when I had a limit. You're close, and they were bugging me with that. And I said,
mm-hmm.
"Hey, I got 4 hours left. I got enough to do to another live." But that's
Yeah,
different story. So
yeah. So I'm gonna put every stream down at an hour and a half so that I know that um, I will have enough time. And if I get lots of responses to my emails, I will have lots of individual lives.
mhm.
If I don't, I won't. So
Mhm.
that's just the way it's gonna be.
I think
But
it's
I'm
I
going to
think it's 20
have,
hours. 20
yeah,
hours you get
yes,
free
I'm gonna have uh,
a month.
uh one on Friday. No, one. I was going to have one tomorrow, but I think I'm too rattled. Um, but I'm going to make another show every week. One that um, Sophie and I can just do politics, but mainly human rights and politics on that one show. And
Mhm.
then I'm thinking of doing my releasing my historical figure mediumship thing, publishing that, and then later in the day coming on and talking about it. But I don't know if I should do it later on that day or on the next day. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but I'm thinking, oh, there's a guest. Oh no, there's nobody here but me and you.
No, you didn't invite anybody else but me and Sophie.
Well, you and Sophie, yeah, and Sophie couldn't make it, so
But don't overload yourself. Because I'm telling
yeah,
you, it'll drain you. It'll drain you if you
yeah.
do. See what I mean? And besides, we're doing this thing about with Ali. Did you forget about
Hmm.
that? The one card
Yeah, I got.
draw each.
Yeah, but I didn't think she was doing it this week. But
I
I'm
don't know.
I'm not going to go next week. I mean,
No,
I'm not going to go tomorrow because
it's not
I've
tomorrow.
got
It's
too
Friday.
much.
It's Friday.
Is it Friday?
It was Friday last time. It was Friday.
Well, I know last time it was Friday, but she hadn't
But
sent me a StreamYard thing for
but on
Friday.
on Friday the 15th, and now it's what, the 6th. What is it today? It's the 6th.
It's the
The
sixth.
Friday,
I guess that's the next
nine
week.
days. In 9 days, yeah.
9 days.
Me and
Okay.
Jay will be on. Me and Jay, both of us, who
Mm-hmm.
are invited on Mary Street, Miss Clairvoyant's
Oh,
channel.
how nice! Yeah, yeah,
Again,
Miss Clairvoyance.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
Yeah,
both going to go on at the same time.
but I mean, Sophie and I are gonna do the political reads, but I was gonna start it tomorrow, but I just don't think. I think I uh, I've got too much on my plate right now.
How long did your interview last with the NDE
Oh,
interview?
it was an hour. It was an hour. Oh,
Okay.
tomorrow I'm going to announce whenever he, but I don't know have a way. I guess I could just pop on for a minute and tell you everything and then pop off. But it's Jeff Mara podcast, and
Okay.
tomorrow, I'm not sure what time, but he said that it would be up on YouTube tomorrow.
Anyway, I'm subscribed to him, so I should get a notice.
Yeah, so you should get a notice.
Yeah. So I don't know how many
Okay,
people are here still.
10.
10.
But I mean, I know we didn't read on anything or anything, but sometimes I think that just discussing different problems that many people deal with is just as healing as a tarot reading,
Yep, it
because
is.
you
Yes.
know. But anyway,
Well,
I'm going
most
to.
of us are going through some stuff anyways today.
Hmm.
The the veil is getting thinner, and the
Right,
energy on what's going around is heavy
on both
every time.
sides. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, last week I felt a little down. I don't know. I went like this a little bit. Whoops. Like a little bit. How would I say that? I had a little sadness for some reason, and then
Hmm.
whoops, I came back out somehow. But I had one day and I was a little scratch on the bottom, something like that. So I guess things are coming out. Hey, night and day homestead.
That's my
Hey,
daughter.
mama. Oh, hello, daughter. Oh, I wonder who that was. I said, whoo.
Yeah, that's my daughter,
Okay.
Jeanette. All right. I'm going to go and see what the. I'm getting all kinds of messages from my grandson. I'm going to
Okay.
see what what uh, what he has to say. But please, please love each other. Be
Yeah.
kind to one another, and remember, you are a soul having a human experience.
Right on. Right on.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.